Welcome to the underground. If you've been led here today, I feel like I have some messages for you. What we're going to do today is pick 7 pieces, 7 of my sculptures that relate to tarot. I have 79 pieces, 78 traditional and 1 extra piece. Then we'll clarify with some tarot cards and pull an oracle card at the end. You might be wondering why all your pieces are out here already. I cannot tell a lie. I screwed up. I recorded your intro with the dice roll, and I had it on the wrong setting. I had it on an M, which means manual, instead of M for movie. They're right next to each other on the wheel, and I decided instead of doing it over, we'll just start here. I mean, if you can't trust your tarot reader, who can you trust? These are the pieces that came out. And the only thing is, I want to go over the intro I did do, because I like to do something special for each sign, and I don't want to skip that. So, because Pisces is known as the artistic and creative sign, with poets and photographers, healers as careers, vocations that Pisces engage in, are known for, and also being mystical and spiritual at the same time. So this seemed like the perfect reading to do for you. I found it in a book called Technicians of Ecstasy by Mark Levy, Shamanism and the Modern Artist. Highly recommend the book. It's great. And it's just not for shamans and artists. It's for anybody interested in things like dreams. And, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Let me read this here to you. It's going to be short. The first step in setting up dreaming is to believe that dreams are valuable. A psychologist, Patricia Garfield, remarked in Creative Dreaming, "Dreamers who regard dreams as important and even vital to success in life will receive and remember helpful dreams." She goes on to say, "In our society, there are no cultural pattern dreams required, nor, indeed, much societal reward for dreaming. Only you, the individual dreamer, can encourage your own desired dreams by the pleasures they bring you." I believe that, it goes on to say, this is Mark Levy, the writer, I believe that those individuals who question the materialistic, rationalistic assumptions of society are the most likely to regard dreams as meaningful. They tend to be outsiders in relation to the dominant ideological system. Some of them are artists. Then he goes on to mention a few artists like Rousseau, De Chirico, Breton, Dali, Man Ray, and others. Very interesting book. Love it. I'm about halfway through reading it the second time. Okay, so take a look what you see here. It's funny, I came to this page to read to you today randomly, and I hope that it'll connect somehow with your pieces and your messages. And already I can see some of these pieces are very dreamlike, surreal maybe even, especially that little creature in the back with the candle on its back. And also the piece with the bones. Even the fish there's actually 2 fish on here. Let me show you. So here's a little fish. Big fish. The Page of Cups. So that's water. A lot of water in this piece. In this spread, I mean. That's water. Page of Cups. This is the 9 of Swords. I'm writing it down. Then there's Death. This is Cups for sure. It's the 5 of Cups. Excuse me. And the last piece, 7 of Wands. It's interesting. Some pieces tend to come up in other people's readings and say for a week or so, or even longer sometimes. And that's the case with the 7 of Wands. Yeah, 7 of Wands. It's a little tight, so it's hard for me to show you, but it's a bullhorn. Clay, wire, some little ribbon I found, I guess. Megaphone, bullhorn. So you can use your eyes, come up with your own ideas here. It's freestyle, so there's no real order or set spread. They can all mean anything and all relate to each other, hopefully. You can pause the video if you want to take a look and think about it. I'm going to start backwards. I'm going to start in the back right corner with the Seven of Wands, and I'm going to do that because that's been coming up quite a bit. I think it came up today in my own personal reading. That's usually, a typical card is a man standing with a wand with 6 other wands around him, and he's there kind of like defending himself. And really what it stands for is fighting for yourself, and actually against great odds. That takes a lot of courage. It's kind of like the traits of a freedom fighter, protesters, which are a big thing today all around the world. Well, we just had our own Capitol building breached. In Russia, they're having demonstrations and lots of arrests because of protests there. If it's a worthy cause, it's honorable, and we need to do it. It's our right to do it, and it demonstrates our own strength and our will to go up against the majority sometimes. And these, I'm considering them all upright or reverse. So, as that being your final piece before we get to any cards, I would say that's a very positive thing. Because whatever else is going on here, you're strong enough to stand up and fight for what you believe. All right, so let's go back to the beginning. That's the Page of Cups, one of your pieces. As I said earlier, Pisces is known as the creative sign, and this piece speaks to that. It's all about a visionary manifesting artistic desires. You have these thoughts, your feelings, and they have to do with creativity and could have to do with love, because it is cups after all. Emotions. Princess and pages, the same thing, male or female, have a lot of energy, young energy. Could be a young person. And young people have a special kind of fire, a belief that anything's possible. And when you're young, sometimes that could come off as a little fickle, especially in love. Fall in love quickly, with strong emotions. But that's okay. That's how we learn and grow. It could also be about being fertile. It could be fertile of the heart or actually fertile, as far as children go. So be careful with that. And it's also about the new potential of a new love. Well, one of my favorite things about this piece is it's the muse piece. And artists and muses are very important to have that. The muses are inspiration. Could be a person, could be a thing, could be someone gone, it could be somebody you read about in a book or heard about. I think it's a very important piece here in your reading today. So far what we have as a reading is you or your person manifesting a new creative project or desire, love. And the last piece is that you're willing to fight for it even after adversity. And a couple of these other pieces definitely are about adversity. I mean, we do have the death card here, the death piece, which means an ending. And then we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, here I'm showing it as dried bones of some strange creature and a Molotov cocktail. This is like really, really heavy energy. One of the heaviest cards, energies in the tarot. It can be about death, just like the death piece next to it. It's almost like a clarification about delays, disappointments. It's the piece about being in one's head to such a degree that it's really painful, something we can't get rid of. I mean, we've already got to a 9. We've been through all these things. Here we are at a 9, and we're in this terrible situation, this terrible state of mind. And it is about the mind because it's sword, so it's the mind, our thoughts. Could have to do with communication. And because it's communication, in this case it could be truthful communication, or at least you think it's truthful. It's a Gemini piece, that's the twins. Confusion between the two could definitely be a big thing. The hurt could be coming over somebody being faithless. But at the same time, even though it's the Nine of Swords, there are some good sides to this. And it could be about giving to others and being patient. Could actually be good news about legal affairs or something to do with your partner, your partnership. Sometimes it's a good thing to have a delay. That's why we shouldn't worry too much. Ultimately, it could be a good thing. So That's the problem with worrying, period. Sometimes we have things in our head and we don't have the information, and it might not even be true. So as I said, this piece can also have to do with the death of something. Then we go to the actual piece for death. It's pretty much about endings, but it could also be about a transition, going from one thing to another. After something ends, of course, something new starts up. Could be about a lot of things. We do have cups here, but we have fire, we have water. I do have to say there's only one major arcana. So as a read, this isn't super heavy. Could be something that you go through, but you don't need to be stuck in it very long. Death might have came in because you weren't willing to, you or your person, weren't willing to do the work and to understand what was happening, or to try to understand it. That could be the Nine of Swords too. So that death piece is about beginnings and endings. You know best. Either way, that has to do with spirit. And when it comes in, when the ending comes in and it has to do with spirit, there's really nothing you could do about that. So the piece with the strange little creature, it's kind of like a worm or something. It's cups, 5 of cups, so could be something that lives in the water or water and land, who knows. Has a candle on its back, a black candle, and that's a good thing. That's to do with protection. All candle colors have a meaning behind them. And there's a little fire on top of there, a little light on the candle. So it's not all heavy energy, but usually the 5 of Cups is all about loss. Could be something tangible or something intangible. The tricky thing about water is it moves around all the time. It's hard to grasp. Go right through your hands, right? You can touch it, but you can't hold on to it. Can't really see clearly in water. Very mysterious kind of thing. Like when you dive into the water, it's an otherworldly feeling to it. Be out of control a little, it's a great force. And this could even be about grief and disappointment, but also about regretting things that have happened. So we have a lot going on here. We have the regret here. We have the fighting at the end for something. Maybe that's the new start. Maybe that's the thing that's worth fighting for. But we also had things going on that we thought we knew were terrible, but maybe, again, they weren't. I'm not sure there was clarity there. The water is not a clear thing. Emotions are not always clear. So what do we do about emotions that aren't clear? Try to balance it with our head, but at the same time, we should use our heart. That's our intuition. Become grounded. We need more earth. But anyway, with this 5 of Cups, one of the things we have to do sometimes is accept things. So you have this dilemma, it looks like to me. You have this thing of either you accept them with the 5 of Cups, or you fight for them with the 7 of Wands at the end. I mean, it's a choice there. You have to decide what's best. Let's get some clarifying cards on this. Let's see what we get. What shall we clarify? I'm going to use the deck that's here. This is Mystical Tarot cards. Great cards, love them. They're very traditional, but they kind of have a little twist to each one. Hold on, I'm gonna shuffle a couple more times on the side. Just so you know, the 2 of Cups fell all the way out when I was shuffling. Okay, what are we gonna clarify though? I want to clarify death and the 5 of Cups. Yeah. Whoa. Well, I got 2 cards for death. The 2 of Swords, and is that Judgment? Yeah, so this is the clarified death. The Two of Swords is about a choice. We were just talking about a choice with those other two pieces in the back there, both pieces. You can't see them anymore. They were the Five of Cups and the Seven of Wands fire. Choice between acceptance maybe and fighting for something. Now with death, there's an ending. So after the ending, something ended abruptly, forcefully. Can't turn back on that. So now we have a new choice with the Two of Swords. Now this is more air energy. That means things aren't clear. Some kind of confusion, maybe mysteries. Two swords, in this case, they're upright. Usually that means ready to fight, just like the Seven of Wands. You have a moon up there, that's about mystery for sure. A lot of blue. Blue is the throat chakra, communication. And again, it's air, so that makes sense. Then we go to Judgment. Judgment is ruled by Pluto, and that's the ruling planet of Scorpio, water. It's the Roman god of the underworld. It's associated with death and rebirth. So in a way, it's a confirmation on the death piece. Death and rebirth, transformation and change. It's good to get confirmations. It brings clarity. I mean, judgment itself is all about the process of rebirth. It's like coming out of that chaos and being stuck energy and finding our purpose, like the Page of Cups here. It's also pulling ourselves out of a base and uncontrollable situation, which could be real or in our head. And to me, that goes along with the Five of Cups. But it's all about doing the right thing. It is a major arcana, the second major arcana in the spread, so it's very powerful. Again, this is spirit coming in. It could be saying that we are, with the Seven of Wands fighting, being a freedom fighter, that we're achieving the freedom we were after. And we're doing it by listening to our higher self and fighting off those things that hold us back. All right, I don't know. Because we keep getting confirmations, I don't see why we need to clarify anything else. It all seems very clear to me. But I do want to give you an oracle card. Hopefully we'll get some advice. Again, it could pull this together. I feel like Moonology is the way to go. Yeah, let's do Moonology. I mean, it's a heavy reading, but I like it because it's pretty clear. Of course, it's not for everybody. But I go to tarot myself looking for little pieces of messages. I don't expect to find all my answers in one place. That's why I look to books and music, clouds, dreams, all these different things that can give us signals and signs. Meditation's good, nature, children, pets. So many ways to get energy and messages. All right, I'm going to shuffle real quick here. Move a couple little things around. It's going to be a little bit of a quick reading, but I don't think that's what it's all about. You might even like that better. I tend to like short readings if I get the messages. All right. I'm going to try to get a popper flyer or something like that. One card. One Moonology card for Pisces, please. Whoops. Wow, that came out quick. Oh, this one keeps coming out. I'm telling you. We're all in the same energy. It's getting crazy in a way. This is a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. If I had a better memory, I could probably just read it off my head without having to look. This came up at least 3 times. Full moon in Libra. Okay. I'll show it to you. Maybe you want to screenshot it. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, sounds like the death piece and the judgment piece, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It's important to remember that people come to us for a reason and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. So that last piece we had there, Seven of Swords, about fighting, you might want to think about that harder. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There's a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win-win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. Attuned to the moon. Let go of that which is falling away. Additional meanings for this card. See the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. That's the way to go. Love, love, love. Always feels good. It's a lot better than that cursing people and thinking badly of them. Even if they hurt you, it's better to go with love. It's time to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. Okay. I think it's a good reading. Hope you found something you could use. This is a new channel, so I appreciate your likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions. Thanks for coming. Love you all.